All right, welcome back. Today, we're digging into something pretty incredible, a whole community built from the ground up, not just to be near wildfire zones, but to actually survive them. Yeah, this could be a blueprint for how we build in the future.
So the big question is, how do you even do that? I mean, really, how do you build a house that can just stand there and survive a wildfire? Especially in a place like the foothills of California's Sierra Nevada, where this isn't just a possibility, it's a constant threat. But here's the thing, the problem isn't just the fire itself. For homeowners in California, and really lots of other high-risk places, there's this other crisis, a kind of slower burning one, just trying to get home insurance. As the fire risk goes up, insurers are, well, they're backing away. And that leaves countless families exposed in more ways than one.
And look, this is not some abstract idea. For the folks in Cameron Park, this is real life. You had the King Fire back in 2014, then the Caldor Fire in 2021. These were massive, terrifying fires that were right on their doorstep. It's just a recurring part of their reality.
Okay, so out of that constant threat, a new idea is starting to take root. It's called Stone Canyon. It's a 24-lot community from KB Home, and, at first glance, it might look like any other new neighborhood. But it's not. It's the first one in Northern California built to this totally new, kind of radical standard of wildfire resilience. So what is this new standard? It's called the Wildfire Prepared Home Designation. It comes from a nonprofit scientific group, the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety, or IBHS for short. And here's the really important part. This is a voluntary standard. It goes way, way beyond what the state law actually requires builders to do.
And this is where you see the huge difference. The standard California Building Code, which is already the toughest in the country, by the way, it pretty much only focuses on the house itself, the structure. But the IBHS standard, it looks at the bigger picture. It treats the house and the area right around it as one single system. So let's get into what that actually means. For each house, you're talking about some serious upgrades. Things like a Class A fire-rated roof. That's the best you can get. Better windows and doors that won't buckle from the heat. The gutters are non-combustible, so they can't act like a fuse, leading fire to your roof. And the vents are specially designed to keep those dangerous flying embers out. Plus, and this is a big one, a 5-foot barrier of something like gravel or rock right up against the house. But this is where it really becomes a game changer. It's not just about one tough house, it's about the whole neighborhood working together as a defense system. The IBHS standard says homes have to be at least 10 feet apart. It means using all metal fencing instead of wood that can burn. The community landscaping, it's all fire resistant from the get-go. The whole idea is to cut down on fuel everywhere, to create these large, defensible spaces. And this quote from Steve Hawks over at IBHS just hits the nail on the head. He calls it a systems-based approach. Because think about it. In a modern wildfire, you got insane winds throwing embers for miles. You can't just armor plate a house and call it a day. You have to manage the entire environment to give that home a fighting chance. Okay, so this is the payoff. Yeah, of course this is about saving lives and homes. Absolutely. But it's also a very strategic move to solve that other crisis we talked about, the insurance puzzle. The whole goal is to build communities that are so obviously safer that insurance companies can look at them and say, yeah, we're confident enough to write a policy here. And we actually know this can work. This isn't just some theory on a piece of paper. Before they started Stone Canyon, KB Home built a pilot community with these exact same standards down in Southern California. It was called Dixon Trail. Now get this number, 64. That's how many homes are in that pilot community, Dixon Trail. And every single one of them, all 64, was able to get home insurance on the regular market. That is a massive win, and it proves this model isn't just a nice idea, it works in the real world. And that really gets to how insurers think, right? Like Steve Hawks says, their business is all about risk. They want to sell insurance, but they need to see that the risk has been seriously reduced. When they see these science-backed measures in place, it gives them the confidence that these homes have a much, much better chance of making it through a fire. So what we're really seeing here is a powerful blueprint for building a safer future. You've got a scientific group like IBHS providing the research, the how-to. Then you have a major builder like KB Home showing that it can actually be done and at scale. And what you're left with is a clear, replicable model that any other developer in a high-risk area can now follow. Now, you're probably thinking what I was thinking. All these upgrades, they have to cost a fortune, right? They must add a ton to the price of the home. And this is probably the most incredible part of the whole story. According to KB Home's division president, Nam Jo, because they planned for all of this from the very beginning, they were able to do it at, get this, no additional cost to the homebuyer. That is an absolute game changer.
So, the big takeaway here is pretty clear. Building for wildfire resilience isn't just some concept anymore. It's a real, practical, and even affordable blueprint for how we should be developing in at risk areas. And this isn't just a California story, this is a model for the whole country. Which really leaves us with one last big question to think about. As our climate keeps changing, and as threats like wildfires just get more common and more intense, is this kind of systems-based building no longer just a nice to have? Is this the new standard for how we have to build from now on?